dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYNT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a fight between an aunt and nephew leads to murder in southern Kentucky. Police in Williamsburg say Michael Lee Worley is being charged with the death of his aunt. WYNT's Phil Pendleton has more on the violence that happened in and outside 2 homes in Whitley County.
The suspect is 40-year-old Michael Lee Worley, and he is being charged with the death of his aunt. All of this remains under investigation, but police say the victim was badly beaten. It happened at this home at the end of Betty West Road off 204 west of Williamsburg. Police were called just before 8 with word of a domestic situation. They showed up to find a woman dead, partly in a driveway, partly in the yard, and a man running off. That man, Worley, is being charged with murder.
You know, I can say that the victim was just visibly what we saw. She was beaten. We don't know for sure the cause of death, and we won't know that until the autopsy.
Police are still investigating the motive. They're not sure what led up to this fight, but they say that they do believe that drugs played a role on behalf of the suspect. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
And we've just learned the victim was identified as 58-year-old Wanda Richardson. We'll have much more on this tonight at 6.
Well, sadly, sounding like a broken record once again, showers and storms moving back into the mountains, and a flash flood watch has also just now been issued once again. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. This goes until 11 a.m. on your Saturday. Notice that it's only those counties out to the west, areas along I-75, including Estill County, Jackson, Laurel, McCreary, Montgomery's in this, Powell, Pulaski County, Rockcastle, Laurel County's in this, along with Wayne and Whitley County as well. So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that potential, but really going to be keeping an eye on it for all of us as we head into the overnight hours and into your Saturday as well. Now, looking at that severe outlook as well as we head into the overnight hours, you'll notice that a good portion of our areas under that marginal risk, 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale, where you see that slight risk, really where those areas under that flash flood watch, 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. Now, as we look at pinpoint Doppler, we're okay for now, but we're keeping a close eye on there's that line of showers and storms moving through, and it's about to start to move into parts of western Kentucky. You'll notice some severe warnings there. That'll be moving into our area much later as we head into the rest of those evening and even more rounds as we head into the overnight hours. We'll take a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.
All right, Paige, thank you. Tensions between the U.S. and Iran remain high as President Trump gives new details on why he called off a military strike just minutes before it was scheduled to launch. Top House Democrats who have criticized the president in the past praised the move. CBS's Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
President Trump is giving more details on why he called off a retaliatory airstrike against Iranian air defenses in an interview with NBC News Meet the Press.
They shot down an unmanned drone, plane, whatever you want to call it, and here we are sitting with 150 dead people. That would have taken place probably within a half an hour after I said go ahead. Yeah. And I didn't like it. I didn't think it was proportionate.
Frequent critic of President Trump, Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff, defended the measured approach.
I don't think the people should be jumping down the president's throat for wanting to think this through and make sure that neither side miscalculates.
So have some House Republicans.
I think that he is utilizing appropriate caution. That doesn't mean that we're going to allow, the activities of Iran to go unanswered.
The Trump administration says Iran shot down a U.S. military drone over international waters, while Iran insists it was over its airspace. Iranian state TV aired video it claims shows debris from the drone recovered in Iran-controlled waters. Several major airlines have altered their flight paths through the region. The Pentagon already announced the deployment of an additional 1,000 U.S. troops to the region after the U.S. blamed Iran for last week's attack on 2 oil tankers. Iranian Americans rallied outside of the State Department and marched to the White House Friday in support of regime change in Iran. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
On Twitter, President Trump threatened additional economic sanctions against Iran and also said Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. The United Nations Security Council will meet on Monday to discuss the situation. One person is dead and 4 injured after a tree fell onto a Georgia interstate. It happened around 1:30 this morning on I-95 near Savannah. Police say after the tree fell in the left lane, a tractor trailer crashed into it. The collision shattered the windshield, and a woman traveling behind the truck sheared off the top of her car when she hit the tree. Several other vehicles also hit the tree, and there's some video of it. 2 people were airlifted to the hospital. One of them later died. Traffic backed up for miles after investigators closed all northbound lanes. A massive explosion and fire broke out early this morning at a refinery in Philadelphia. The fire broke out around 4 a.m. at the Philadelphia Energy Solutions plant in the southwest part of the city. People and businesses east of the plant were told to take shelter. 4 people suffered minor injuries and were treated on site. This is the second fire at the plant in a month. The refinery is one of the largest and oldest on the East Coast. Back here in eastern Kentucky, mountain basketball legend King Kelly Coleman died earlier this week, and his visitation started this morning at the Old Wayland Gym, and people from across the state have already arrived to pay their respects. WYMT's Macy Marie talked to a few of them and joins us live from outside the gym. Macy?
Steve, King Kelly Coleman might have been the first Mr. Basketball, but he was certainly not. Today really just proves that. I've just seen throughout the afternoon plenty of Mr. Basketballs trickle in to pay to the original Mr. Basketball Coleman. But people here say that King Kelly Coleman was about a lot more than basketball. He was a leader in the community, and he was even a businessman. They say he loved telling stories about his days on the court, and a lot of people really remembering him today, coming by, loved ones, friends, people from all over the state. I talked to someone from Russell County earlier who drove here just for this visitation this afternoon. And now, Steve, Coleman's visitation you until 8 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow starting at 10 his visitation will pick back up. It's going to go until his funeral tomorrow, and loved ones say it's really fitting. Take a look behind me. You might be able to see it in the distance. I had to park down on the bottom of the hill because so many people are coming in, but that's the Old Wayland Gym that Coleman actually used to play there, so they say it's just really fitting for people to come here to remember him. We'll have much more on Coleman tonight at 6. For now, live in Floyd County, Macy Marie, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Macy, internet service a bit spotty there in Wayland, it appears, but thank you very much. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi held a bill enrollment ceremony for the Taxpayer First Act today. Lawmakers say it is a major achievement for underserved communities and people with disabilities. It protects them from debt collectors and helps them prepare their tax returns. The bill also includes steps to pinpoint and protect people from identity theft. The bill has bipartisan support. It is now headed to the Senate. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Friday. The Dow closes down today more than 33 points. The debate over whether or not to remove Confederate monuments has sparked strong opinions across the nation in recent years. Yesterday, one man took the fight to the West Virginia Capitol. Howard Swint wants the Stonewall Jackson Monument taken down, along with other statues dedicated to the Confederacy around the state. While many believe these memorials need to stay because of the history, Swift believes the monuments promote hate speech, racism, and white supremacy.
We should put it in the darkest corner of the Culture Center in the basement and run 12 Years a Slave, the movie, in the background so that everyone can see what they stood for, what they fought for, and why we should move on from those days of the past.
The Stonewall Jackson Monument first stood on the Capitol grounds in 1910, which was located in downtown Charleston. The monument was moved in 1926 to its current site. A Bible once owned by Abraham Lincoln has made its way to Illinois. The Bible was gifted to Lincoln during the Civil War. After he died, Mary Todd Lincoln gifted the Bible to an old neighbor from Springfield. Now the descendants of that neighbor donated the Bible to the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. The family kept the Bible for almost 150 years. Straight ahead on First at 4, things dried up just in time for the WYMT Food City Golf Classic. We'll take you to Stonecrest and tell you who benefits from this annual event.
And I hope you enjoyed the rain break because a stormy weekend is starting to set up. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up.